Hello folks. My video today is about my favorite Star Wars prop. Even today, I think that converting real World War II weapons into laser weapon props was pretty clever. It certainly saved the studio's props department a bundle on design and production costs. Of all the different blasters we've seen in all the Star Wars movies, my favorite prop is still the DH17 blaster pistol used by the Rebels. To me, it's the most believable looking space weapon of all the Star Wars sidearms. In any case, I finally have the opportunity to build a DH17 for my collection of full-scale science fiction prop replicas. It'll be in good company alongside all my phasers and my Forbidden Planet blasters. Before I get into my review and quick assembly sequence of the DH17, I want to thank Ray Herbert at Blaster Master Productions for the superb work he did in creating the beautiful 3D printed kit that I used to build my DH17 blaster replica. The kit is very well executed with clean fitting parts and a well thought out breakdown of the various components of the DH17, so it's very easy to assemble. The kit is designed to have a movable trigger, a movable 2-position selector switch, and an operating spring-loaded bolt mechanism. The kit built into a full-scale, well-detailed replica of the Rebel sidearm used in the Star Wars movies. Overall, I'd say it's an excellent kit and a great way to add an authentic-looking DH17 to your own Star Wars collection. This is my first 3D printed kit, and I really hope I don't mess it up. In any case, if you've watched my videos, you should know by now that I love to tinker. Give me a great kit like this DH17 to start with, and I'll always try to find a way to enhance it a bit. Well, I watched the Master Blaster video on how to assemble this kit, and decided right off the bat that I'm going to upgrade mine by installing a real laser and a sound system. I haven't been able to get an exact match to the sound effects used in the Star Wars movies, but I've got something I feel is close enough, at least close enough to keep me happy, so now I'm ready to get to work on my DH17. Okay, let's take a quick look at the DH17 kit. The small parts consist of this return spring for the cocking mechanism. There's 2 parts for building a trigger. There are parts for the front and rear sights. There are parts for building a movable selector switch. We've got some control dials down here for the sight up on top. And some other parts that are used for connecting things like the cocking levers and such. Okay, the major components of the blaster consist of this large section for the rear of the barrel. There is a smaller section to the barrel that comes up here in front, and a third section for the barrel with the ejector ports in it. The next major part that goes along with the main firing tube is this bolt that sits inside here. Okay, and if you build a kit according to the Blaster Master specs, this will hook into a cocking lever at the top of the blaster, and you'll be able to pull it back and it'll slide forward again. Now, I'm not going to do that to my model because I'm going to be installing a laser, and I need space in here that simply won't allow me to put the spring in place and stuff. But this is a really nice touch, and if you want to build the DH17 blaster of your own, this is going to look really cool when you put it together. To finish off the main body of the blaster, you have this ribbed section that goes up front and gives the blaster its nice dynamic sort of look. And to finish that off, of course, there's the muzzle piece. The next set of major parts in the kit are these 4 pieces for building the sight that sits up on top. And 2 pieces to build the center of the sight. There's a nicely done eye cup here for the back of the sight, and this piece for the front of the sight. In addition to the parts for the sight itself, there's also this very nicely printed mounting rail for the sights. This sits up on top of the blaster barrel and holds the sight up here. The last major components to the kit are the pistol grip, and the last 2 parts we have here make up the trigger block. I've assembled the major components of the DH17 blaster. The first of the major components is this front end of the barrel with its heat fins and the muzzle part up here. And I've already installed a laser in there, so that is ready to go. The next major part of the blaster that I've completed is the scope. It's nicely detailed, has fake control knobs here and a pair of fake locking screws down here. Very nicely done. However, if you know me, you know I like to tinker and enhance things, so I added this little red rod at the front. And at the back of the scope, I installed a piece of clear plexiglass for a lens. To attach the tip to the scope, I'm using jeweler's cement. The advantage to jeweler's cement is it makes a very strong bond and it dries crystal clear, which makes sense since jewelers use it to attach crystals to the front, glass to the front of a watch or something. So you can't have that fogging up, and this stuff won't fog up plastic, it won't fog up plexiglass or acrylics. So it's ideal for any place you want to join clear parts together. Here's the main assembly of the DH17. It consists of the pistol grip and the trigger block, the main portion of the barrel or the firing chamber, the front sight up here, the rear sight, and of course the mounting rails for the scope. This is the bolt mechanism that you'll see up in here in a few minutes. I've heavily modified this part. Originally it was a solid tube about that long, and it had a fitting at the back to hold the return spring in place. I cut that away because I didn't need it, and I cut this trench down along the bottom of the part so that I could fit it in over the wires that are now inside the firing chamber. So if I hadn't cut this trench, this part would not have fit because the wires would have been in the way. Okay, here you can see the wires that come up from the trigger block. The two black ones are for the trigger. The three red ones are for the selector switch. The bolt is ready to go into place, and I'm going to take that little notch I cut at the front and run that right across the top of those wires. As you can see, the wires now fit inside the bolt, so there's no interference, and all I have to do is push the bolt all the way forward and align it a little bit, and there we have the bolt installed. Now the shiny surface I've got on this bolt is actually metal tape. It's high heat metal tape used for sealing pipes and things. So it looks really nice, and it certainly looks metallic because it is real metal. What more could you ask? The next step in completing the DH17 is going to be to attach the front end to the main firing chamber, and I've already run my electrical wires from the laser all the way back here so that I can attach those to the electronics. To attach the back cap to the end of the DH17 body, I've installed two neodymium magnets in here. The back cap is simply equipped with a steel plate that's been glued in place and reinforced with a little screw in the center. Now I just have to put this in place, and those magnets should keep it there securely. There we go. These magnets are holding very firmly, so the back cap is now attached to the main body, and anytime I need to change my batteries, all I have to do is pull the back cap free and pull out the battery holder. Well, my DH17 is finally complete. Scope's in place. I've got this very nicely detailed ejection port. The muzzle end is a nice shiny metallic finish to it. And it looks pretty much like the DH17s that were used in the movies. All that's left to do at this point is demonstrate the sound and laser system I installed. That laser is actually a lot brighter than it looks on video, probably because of the overhead lighting I'm using. But that ought to give you some idea. Now, if I did the selector switch correctly, I should be able to change over and get a different sound effect. Notice how the laser is synchronized to the sound. Well, that's it. That is my completed DH17 prop replica, with thanks to Blaster Master Productions for producing such a beautiful kit to work from. I hope you enjoyed this little presentation. And that's it till next time. Bye, folks.